Welcome back. This weekend's vlog, we are testing some tups. I know that's all I've been banging on about for the last month or so, but that's the nature of the job. It's seasonal. We go through a few weeks or months of doing specific jobs, and then we're on to the next one as the seasons shift. So without further ado, let's go. Right, it is the second or third weekend in October. Time is fast approaching when the tups, those are the rams, the male sheep, are going out. We've done a couple of technicals on ram MOTs and semen testing. This is just me going through a few for the Scots who you've met before in a few of the other vlogs, and we're going to go through their tups today, all shapes and sizes, and just give them the once over. Any that we pull out on a physical abnormality, we're going to then semen test. There might not be any, but 1 in 5 tups generally is considered subfertile. So the chances are we will find something. A bit like the ball testing you've seen me do requires quite a lot of gear. So I'll get that loaded into the car, all prepped, then we'll head out and test these tups. Now, I love this truck, and one of the reasons I love it is because you can fit a hell of a lot on it, which is just as well because even with that space, it's a bit like a game of Tetris trying to get this all in. I love these drawers as well, and they are by Direct 4x4. The only qualm I have with them is that, I'll show you, is that these latches often go, so you see this one's working, so you push it and it closes. But this one, and this has happened, I suppose it probably happens on average about once a year, maybe. You'll see this one that the catch has perished, so when I push it, it doesn't lock, and if you're parked on a slope, they just come back out at you. So Direct 4x4, great drawers, just need better catches. And to be fair to them, they are pretty good at sending you out spares to have fitted. I'm on call as well, so I'm also carrying quite a lot of equipment for that. We'll make it all fit though. While we're talking about kit, this is an electro ejaculator. Now, some types are handheld like this and operated by battery. Some types are plugged into a box in much the same way that you've perhaps seen bulls semen tested. In fact, you've probably seen me do it on a previous vlog. I think we called that Meeting Curly, where we were semen testing a Galloway bull, a belted Galloway. Now, I think it's always important with any procedure we perform with or on animals to say, look, does this impinge on their welfare? Now, because this is inserted rectally, inevitably, amongst adults after we finish sniggering, we often make assumptions about what it's like and what it might feel like, and potentially how it might be uncomfortable for the animal. In this case, it's a tup, a ram. Again, because of its shape and where it goes, I think when you see this and when you see it operated, it can look like it's essentially a vibrator, and I'll be honest, it's not. So if I press the button, the light comes on there, maybe see that. And there's no movement to this, you can't feel anything. Instead, these electrodes are actually sending out quite a subtle, targeted signal. We send the probe rectally, and that way the probe sits over the accessory reproductive glands of the tup, stimulates them, and you get a sample relatively quickly. Now, in that region are also the nerves that supply the muscles of the hind limb, and hence they can go a bit stiff and it can look like they're in distress. Don't get me wrong, there will be a degree of, oh, what's that? This feels a bit strange, but it's not outright pain. The reason those legs go rigid is because of the signals going through the nerves. It's not a pain response, it's more like a reflex. Often we select tups out, we don't necessarily semen test every tup. We're looking at ones that perhaps are suspect or going to be working in high pressure situations, which we talked about back in the semen testing technical. Feel free to go and have a look if you haven't already. All of the vets here, we all really like this, the Lane handheld ram ejaculator. Prefer it to the one on the box, although we do occasionally use that. We got this from Merlin, who are veterinary wholesalers up in the Borders. Right, that's that explained. We'll finish up packing the car. Right, so now we're here. Takes me about the same amount of time to set up, so we'll do that. Lots of different tups, but there's some Vontex, so Vondine Texel, Texel crosses, Texels themselves, Charolais Beltex, one pure Charolais, and some Clins.
And 3 Clins. 3
Clins, and a pure Beltex. So it's a fair spread there, but I mean, what are you thinking, Ollie, in terms of what for what sheep? Like we talked about this the other day, but roughly what are you thinking? Because obviously there's a lot of tups to choose from.
So we've got a selection of Texel cross ewes that we've been keeping on from store sales over the past, that we are going to try and put the Clins to and try and get some ewe lambs out of there, start breeding our own replacements. And then the rest of them are purely commercial, so they'll go on to the mules, both the Gimmers and there's 80 ewe lambs to tup with the Charolais Beltex.
They'll be like Scotch mules, won't they?
Yes.
Yeah, Scotch mules. Older mules get your Texel and Charolais.
Yeah.
Mule ewe lambs will get the Charolais Beltex and possibly the Beltex.
Yeah.
And the Texel cross or white face sheep will get the Clin.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Good.
See what happens.
I see what happens. Bit of an experiment, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should have said I put another person's holiday cottage in a previous vlog, and then Helen, Ollie's mum, my girlfriend's mum, gave me a telling off for not having theirs, and so you can see it behind us. Right, so this is a sort of extra added value you get with a holiday here at Bracken Lodge, isn't that right?
That's right.
You don't actually even have to pay extra for this sort of immersive experience, but if you book Bracken Lodge, that's a Crabtree in Crabtree. In fact, I'll go and put a link
in bio.
Link in bio, link in the video description, and you can see some of the fantastic rooms. It is done out actually very nicely. If you book it the second week of October, you'll probably see us in the front paddock doing the tups. Have you been on a vlog, Will? Be famous? I don't think you have been yet. Oh man, this is just the start. This is just the start. So that's us all set up. We'll do a physical exam on them all. Any that we flag up as being a bit suspect, we'll push back, and then once we're done, we'll run them back through for a semen test. So you've met Ollie before, Big Ollie, Big Will as well. I'll introduce Will. He's a tractor salesman. Was that your official title?
Yeah.
Yeah, tractor salesman. You work for Ancroft Tractors down the road?
Yeah, just down the road.
And what type of tractors did you sell?
Fendt and Valtra.
Fendt and Valtra. He'll be a Grassman watcher, presumably.
Oh God, man.
Okay. But he loves sheep. Definitely loves sheep, don't you, Will?
Oh,
for sure.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week. Great. Right, we'll get set up, and we'll, like I say, we'll go through them, and we'll try and talk through a few. But otherwise, we'll just get cracking. Right.
Do you need them tipped up?
Not just yet. Not just yet. So I'll have a look. I'll start from the front end. So teeth are good. Woolly bollocks. Oh, you can tell it's a Vondine.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's a lamb, isn't he, this one?
Yeah.
This one is 34, which is fine. What's his condition like? Condition's probably, I call that 3.5. It's a good 3.5.
Feet, rest of body.
Feet's fine, rest of body's good. Check this brisket. Look at that. Brisket's good. That's all good. There you go, all looks good. Anything else? I know that's all good. So he's good to go. Right, we're just going to put him down there. Oh, you was going to?
Yeah, we'll put him on. Yeah.
Good lad.
It's a bit better than...
I would say so. What you call it? You just call him Texel Cross?
Texel Cross.
Yeah. The RAM MOT really consists of two parts. There's a general physical examination where we check things like teeth and body condition, and then there's the specific genital examination where we look at the male reproductive system. If you're new to the channel, by all means go and have a look at some of the previous technical videos we've done on the subject recently. And if you like what you see, don't be afraid to hit subscribe, press the little bell next to it, like the video and leave me a comment. Got a masterclass in sheep wrestling from Ollie. Make sure you get the Harper Rugby Club on the back there. We're doing well so far. We've only got these 3 left to go. In fact, we've been doing so well that we've not actually pulled any off for semen testing. No abnormalities picked up physically. We have got a physical abnormality here, but not of the genitalia. It's really the more basic stuff. It's locomotion. So I'll try and show you this foot. Oh, there we go, not Ollie's foot. So it's not so bad there, but when he's, oh, he sat down. Hang on. Connie's embarrassed now, isn't he? So what you can see there is the, what we call the pastons. This joint here, he's actually, when he moves, he's very sunken back. That's not a fatal flaw necessarily. If he goes lame on it because of that joint, that's obviously going to affect his serving capacity. But at the end of the day, he's a Texel. He's going to be breeding commercial lambs. If he were breeding replacements, either in a purebred Texel flock or if you were keeping back Texel Cross gimmers, that would be more of an issue. But again, just something we've seen. You go looking, you find things. Right, okay, that's us done. How many did we do? About a dozen? Oh, we did 14. As it happens, And I know you're going to say we're doing it for the vlog, but it's not the case. We've only found one, which actually is very good going. His nuts are just a little bit on the small side. Not wildly, but it's just worth getting tested. It's actually not bad. 1 out of 14 is very good. Typically tend to find about 20%, so we'd be expecting to find 2 or 3. So all good, and he may well be fine. We're just going to get a sample out of him to check. So if you're wondering what we use to catch it, these genuinely are disposable cake decorating bags. So you can double up and use the spare ones of these for your icing. So there you go, lads. No mixing. No, not unless you violently dislike the person you're making cupcakes for. So again, we've got our little icing bag on a handle. Sit that under the tub. I think Ollie's the lucky man today. I'll be working the probe. We'll just be stopping the tub running away. Right. Oh. 1.
Now we're farming.
Much juice there, Ollie?
There's a little bit.
Have a look. Oh, that's enough. That's plenty. Good stuff. Right. That's what we need. I would love to show you guys what I can see under the microscope, but my technical capabilities aren't quite there yet. We assess gross motility, which is overall density and movement, as well as progressive motility, which is how many sperm are moving forwards rather than in circles or not at all. I have an admittedly low resolution video I'll add of a sample from another tub with excellent gross motility. That would score 5 out of 5 on our 5-point scale. Oh, that's fine. Good. That's him, good to go. Oh, good. We didn't get much of a run out this kit, but I'd show you it because I thought you might be interested. So first things first, we have the microscopes. This is something called a phase contrast. Basically means you can do a little bit more with it. Don't ask me anything more than that. On top of it, we've got a heated stage. So that actually is a warm platform. The thing we're always worried about, especially in field conditions like this, is the sample cooling down, because when semen rapidly cools down, sperm lose their movement, they die. We need to keep the semen warm to make sure we get a representative reading from it. And so you can see there, that's the target temperature, that's the what it's actually sitting at. So it fluctuates around that 40. So that is, yeah, 39.7 just now. What else? We've got all the tup kit which you've seen used. A lot of it we haven't because it's for stuff for bulls. So there's the bull probe. Obviously didn't use that on the sheep. Got the scrotal tape, which I actually forgot for my RAM MOT technical. So there you go, you've seen it now. Here's an example of the record form. Again, tags, breed, age, and a few things recorded. Generally only tend to record issues unless it's something standard like a scrotal circumference or a body condition score. Yeah, we went through a few of those. Those will get scanned on and also sent to the farmer. And this is the insulated box. So you can see it's been waterproofed with a bit of plastic. It's got these little containers of hot water, so they heat the box. And in there, I've got the slides. We had the PBS. PBS stands for phosphate buffered saline. That is what you use to dilute the sperm out when you're wanting to look at individual sperm and see if they're moving in the right direction. One thing I learned since becoming a vet is if you're short of that, you can use milk. You can't use tap water, and the reason is it's too dilute. That's my understanding anyway. It's the tonicity of it. It's too dilute, kills the sperm, whereas that saline, it's got salt in it, it's pH buffered, and presumably milk is similar enough to work. Everything that needs to stay warm is in here, apart from the slides, which when you need to look at them are on the heated stage. So that's the setup. It's a lot for one tup. In fact, it's exactly the same for one tup as it is for 100, but it got used. I think good result. You pleased with that, Ollie?
Yeah, happy enough.
Nice. So I think from the Kaiwaka Bib and Brace Society, I will see you next time.